Sorry. Who's where you get the show on the road? Where I left off was, I can't remember where directly I left off. Obviously, Whitechapel. What am I doing here? No. I'm finding a person in this area. That makes sense. Oh.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed.
It was a little bit of a jump, by the way, because I was like doing a little like side quest, so there's a little bit of a jump how I got to here. Nothing like too serious that you wouldn't understand, but it was just seeing and watching where somebody went and then practically following them. That's it, really.
Would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercott, at your service.
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night, sir? Do you live here?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable, if you ask me. Especially with strangers.
If you say so. But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposure, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where the weak dare not.
But are you not afraid of the epidemic?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be saved, say the scriptures. Good or evil, rich or poor, all are equal in the eyes of the flu.
Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to come, see it for myself, alone.
If some misfortune came upon you, who would be here to help you?
Well, you for a start, my dear doctor.
If some misfortune came upon you,
Well, you...
I understand your need for solitude, but it's not safe around here.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor, and my family despises me.
What are your thoughts on the terrible situation in this city?
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the death of so many innocents is a tragedy. But the scourge has not been all bad for the city. Oh, no, sir.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this oddly peaceful silence.
Peaceful? That's quite an unusual way to speak about the epidemic. And very inappropriate, I must say.
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I call myself a poet if I veiled my feelings?
Tell me, Mr. Nethercott, why seek inspiration in Whitechapel?
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to explain it? Stirring and challenging.
In what way, exactly?
The struggle by gaslight, the barren smiles and the arid hunger under the rain.
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid paradox, the stripped humanity raged across each street.
Vivid, of course, yes. And what about the poignant distress?
Oh yes, the poignant distress. You see what I mean, don't you? That's what I want to write about, and that's what Whitechapel is made of.
Do you not think it a little morbid?
On the contrary, sir, Whitechapel is full of life, full of beauty. Just like my dear, wonderful Camellia.
What can you tell me about Camellia?
Not much, and that's the beauty of it. She can't speak, you know. She's a locked mystery who exhales kindness and sweetness.
Perhaps you're just afraid to find out the truth about your muse.
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with me. But will she still be my wild flower of Whitechapel if she moves uptown?
And have you ever tried to learn more about her? Where she lives? How she survives? Whom she may know?
Maybe I prefer she remains an enigma. Reality can be so dull, don't you think?
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of her.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
Well, damn, dude.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
Alright. So, is there anybody else? It's Camilla.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you a few questions. I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger who meets a girl in the street at night. It reeks of the penny dreadfuls. But I mean you no harm, truly. I know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being mute, does it?
Jeez.
Tell me about Richard Nithercott. I understand he is quite fond of you, Camellia. Very well. Goodbye, then.
Well, that was something else right there. Like, what was the whole point of any of that if she can't talk? Okay. Well, if I was a free medical checkup in between the flowers. 5,000 XP, jeez.
Hello again, miss. Camellia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispensary. A stubborn and mute comrade. Nurse Crane and Darius Petrescu have been clever. Very well. Goodbye, then.
Well, she's 5,000 up. I don't have mesmerize all the way up there, so I can't like drain her. I'm trying to figure out how you can do that stuff though. How you can get mesmerized up. I still only have it at 1. It might be one of these things that to do. Maybe, I don't know. I'm gonna have to like look deep into that stuff. Maybe I have to do stuff for them first before they become to the point where I can like drain them pretty easily. all of them are like that, right? Dearest, most beloved children, I am so sorry for what you've heard from me for a few months. The situation in London has been difficult. I know that sounds selfish and silly, but when you, my children, are still living in a country consumed by war, but there is also war going on here in England. A war against poverty and injustice. This war I intend to fight despite my advanced years. This is why I'm here writing to you today. I won't be coming back to Romania. That probably means I won't see you again before I die. Don't be sad, my darlings. You are grown up. And my children, you know the sacrifice that sometimes we must accept to make the world a better place. This is one I must make now. Feel useful one more time. I wish you a long and happy life. Kiss my grandchildren for me, and remember, your father loves you all the way from this cold, damp country. I am, as ever, your loving father, Darius Presky.
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter. Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
Don't be shy, handsome. What can Christina do for you?
I'm not looking for what you're selling, but I'd like to ask you a few questions, if I may. I'm a doctor, Dr. Reed.
All right then, but be quick, though I usually get paid when I open my mouth.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Anything you can tell me about her would be helpful.
I don't know her, but I know her name is Dorothea Crasionescu. She came from Romania like me and many others.
You seem to respect her.
Dorothea helps the sick people of Whitechapel. Everyone should respect that.
Clayton Darby claims he will expose the crisis in Whitechapel to all of London. Do you believe him?
I believe Clayton's courage will erode with time, until he finally leaves Whitechapel to start another fight somewhere else.
Are you talking from experience?
I've seen your type come here to get a good fuck in a cheap room or a dark alley before going back to their fancy houses in the West End.
She's suffering for fatigue.
How can you speak about starvation if you've never been hungry? Or about poverty? Or anything else you have never suffered from?
Here.
Christina, have you been examined? The epidemic is spreading fast in London, and you could be exposed, or expose others.
I don't like doctors or hospitals, but I don't like you asking questions.
You can put your own life in danger, that's your decision. But what about your clients? If you're contaminated, you will put them in danger too.
And you think that would worry me? If you knew the men I deal with, their health would not be what you'd worry about.
Considering your line of work, I assure you it is only a matter of time before you have health issues.
If it is going to happen, it will happen. Right now, I need money. That's what's important.
Tell me about yourself.
Are you joking with me? People don't usually come to see me for conversation.
I have no interest in your work. I am, however, curious as to what led you into this career.
Short story. The war, exile, and England. This country is not especially welcoming. I've been refused many jobs because of where I am from. I had few options left.
Well, damn.
Many people must deal with poverty, but not all choose to sell their bodies. That was your decision.
And when exactly was the last time you looked for a job? Or worried about the rent, or what, or when you were going to eat?
Goodbye, miss.
Just fatigue, so I'm gonna run to here quick. See if I have anything for cold as well. Just gotta find a door that I can actually go into.
When science fails you,
And this is the door I can go into, I believe. Actually, crystal's so cold and fatigue. If I can. I don't know about cold, but I know I can do fatigue. I'm probably stock up on a couple of fatigues because that's what people have been suffering from is fatigue a little bit. So. Syringes. I need level 10 before I do it, and it's gay. Got 500. Everything. Rage, Abyss, and Blood Quadrant 230. Coming to the right, the shadows interrupt an enemy in the air. Inflict tremendous damage. That's Rage. You lose control when you allow the beast take over for short time. You struggle to shove to all enemies around you and strike them with a fierce blow. I might go Abyss because it's the most damage. That's what it looks like. Eh. It's like I can't tap confirm. I'm trying to tap confirm. So the more people I cure, the better. So fatigue, cold, bronchitis. One person has bronchitis, I'll get him bronchitis medicine. And then 2 fatigues. I don't know about colds. I don't think I can do cold yet, but I'm gonna heal it first. So everything's not suffering. I should be full then. Where's that? Yeah, here's bronchitis. Is there anything for cold? Pneumonia, sepsis, fatigue. Cold. I don't have that stuff. I don't know, 2 people need I think 2 people need 15. I'll just make 4 just in case. Bronchitis, I need codeine and potassium something. Right, codeine, potassium. And then I can come back here and give that dude bronchitis medicine. That's if I have enough money for the ingredients. I want people to heal everybody first in order to bring up their sickness, so I'm not like screwed, I guess, in a sense, when I drain everybody, because if I drain them, then their issues come to me. So if they have like fatigue, I'm gonna have fatigue, and if they have cold, I'm gonna have cold, which I don't know how directly that affects you. I'm assuming it's gonna drain like your endurance if you have fatigue, and if you have cold, it's gonna drain your damage. Maybe, I don't know. You really shouldn't be affected by stuff like that since you're dead, but you know.
I have this thirst for blood.
Is oh wait, I got potassium and codeine.
Good evening.
I'd like to.
What do you got? Codeine. And body follows 5 and then potassium. Because you never know when you would lose stuff, so it's like, why not just get it now? I know it's kind of wasting my money, but I'm like thinking, like, because I want to heal everybody too, so. Alright. And then I could just summon junk. I'm pretty much taking all of your medical supplies. Thank you, though. Just taking all of your medical supplies. She's like, wait. I'd be like, well, I have a really good customer. Personally, I'd be like, bro, thank you. You're giving me all of your money. I'm like, thank you for that, you know? Why I was holding X instead of buying multiple also is because I want to try to space it out and see if I can get the most out of this and that and all that stuff, but it's all the same price, but I want to get roughly around the same amount so I can make a certain amount. Because if I have 555 and only 3 ingredients for one thing, I can make 3 of those instead of like 10, 5, and none, you know, kind of. Potassium. I haven't seen people with this stuff yet, but I'm gonna make that stuff just in case. And pneumonia, I don't have enough stuff for that. It's for opium. See if that isn't anything else that I use. So I don't want to take that from anything else. And then I have 10 of that. 20, 20, 27, 6. They should be good to make. I would say they should be both good to make. They look safe. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah. So anemia and sepsis require the stuff that health requires. Alright, I gotta remember that because I may or may not have screwed myself right there when it comes to making serums for people. Well, making serums for myself, which I'm gonna refrain from trying to use them until, like, I really need them. I'm about to die. But I should probably save them for boss fights. Because that is where I definitely need assistance at, is boss fights. Because some of them, I don't know how to dodge that well. Even though it's pretty easy, you just press circle. But me, I'm horrible at dodging. I'm more of wanting to be up in your face and shooting you in the face and stabbing you in the face when it comes to bosses. Versus, like, being back and using strategy, like in Destiny and everything like that. I'm never somebody that sits there in the back and like, okay guys, let's do this, that. No. I run up in there. Like, I'm dead serious. I don't sit back. I just run up in there and everything.
Good evening. I'm not... Do you not... I want to know everything about the recent violence, Cadogan. And I want the truth.
Well, rent may be a bit high, and yeah, I've had to evict a few people.
That's the
business,
guy
isn't it?
that was being a douche, pretty much.
Take this as my final warning. You will not profit from the misery of others. Business is one thing, but what you do is quite another.
Really? What you gonna do? You ain't from here. You ain't Whitechapel, Doctor. You wouldn't know the first thing about playing dirty, even if you wanted to.
Ooh.
You seem to have recovered well since your attack. Do you ever think about what happened to you?
Not much. It was a fucking nightmare. Savages, absolute bloody savages. Their appearance. Jesus. Made me want to puke.
You'd better not come back here. I won't be around next time to save you. I'm looking...
Dorothy Crane. Bless her soul. I really should thank her someday.
Has she treated you?
No. When I need a checkup, I'd go to a bloody doctor, not some back alley clinic full of sick foreigners.
It's unusual to see someone so happy around here, especially considering the current situation.
Why should I be sad now? There've always been wars, disease, tragedy. There always will be.
That's an unusual way of seeing things in these trying times.
I don't see why I should shed a tear for another man's woes. I'm healthy, and I intend to stay so.
What is your business, exactly?
I offer fair lodgings for a modest price to the poor and weary of Whitechapel.
I see. And what about those who cannot pay?
Well, deals can be done, if you know what I mean. Money's not the only currency. After all, I'm not immune to a pretty face.
In other words, you take advantage of these poor lost souls.
Begging your pardon, I thought you was a man who could appreciate the complexity of the modern world. Things ain't just black and white, you know.
What help could I possibly be to your business?
That's simple. I already get good money from all those fleeing the war. Can you imagine what they'd be willing to pay if I could offer medical assistance too?
Mr. Bates, do not make me regret saving your life in this quarantine zone.
I understand, Dr. Reed, you're from a good family. Don't want to get your hands dirty. That's fine. I'll be happy to act as your middleman.
I'm no saint, but to take advantage as you do, you are a despicable man who could only prosper in these dark times.
So it's a no then. That's too bad. The Reed tonic could have really helped people, you know, saved lives. Isn't that what you do? I mean, people buy that Swamburgh shit.
Tell me, what's your honest opinion of the increasing violence in London?
People are just beginning to discover what we've always known. This city's rotten to the core. They just took their bloody time to wake up and notice it.
What do you mean?
People are acting like the violence is news. But it's always been savage down here. It just bubbles to the surface every now and again.
I'm looking...
Dorothy Craig.
Tell me truthfully, Why are you so thankful?
By keeping my tenants alive, she's making me a rich man. Every month they live, it's more coin in my pocket.
Oh, once you're cured, I'm draining you. Just wait. I can't get. Wait.
Since I took an oath...
Well,
In what?
Yeah.
Goodbye.
I believe I've done his story. And I have. So someone's going to die. It's just a matter of time.
Harry doesn't seem happy living in Whitechapel. Why did you make him come here?
I've always put my son's interests above everything else, whatever he may think. Our house is small but affordable. The walls are thin, but the door is solid.
You really love your son, don't you, Mr. Peterson?
He's my pride and joy. Even if he hates me for the choices I make and pushes me buttons more than he should.
Since the criminal nature of your job means you could be arrested, are you not afraid of what would happen to your boy if you were?
No one will ever take my son away from me. If that ever occurred, I'd hunt the bastard down and rip off his head with my bare hands.
Do you have any regrets?
Only one. Not to have my beloved wife by my side. She died when Harry was little. My sweet Jane. She gave the boy confidence.
You're completely healthy.
Have you heard of it? Or could you...
Yeah. Just don't want to go through the whole thing of
Goodbye.
already talking to him about certain things. There's no question.
What do you know of Harry Peterson? The boy seems so fragile. Not like his father at all.
Harry's a good boy, but he spends most of his time complaining. He's had it tough, all right, but he needs to grow a pair.
What troubles him exactly?
But despite being his father's son, almost everything, I think. He never wanted to come to Whitechapel in the first place. Hates this place more than most of us.
Goodbye.
So there is sickness somewhere. I think you can't tell me anything new. Maybe you can't. Since it's loading.
Good evening, Mr. Whittaker.
It's Father Whittaker, my son. So, are you still lost in your rational delusions?
You're fully healthy.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that Nurse Crane you mentioned.
I have heard enough for tonight. Goodbye.
I thought you told me something different. She was suffering from fatigue. She's one of them.
Good evening.
Shit.
Do you need any...
It...
I'm shocked that you would think I am...
Forgive my suspicion. I'm so used to liars with good manners.
Do you know... You...
Dorothy...
Yeah,
Goodbye, miss.
She's recovering. Can't remember what else there was.
still want more from Christina?
When we spent the night together, my wallet went missing.
Are you calling me a thief? I don't have your stupid wallet.
I know you. You're a nice girl. Can't we solve this amicably?
No, I don't think so. And if you think you know me just because we shared the bed together, you're just a lousy and arrogant journalist.
Ain't that some shit? Hey, Miss Archie.
Good evening, Doc.
Tell me, Clayton, do you really think this young woman stole your wallet?
Christina. Yes. I recently met her. A nice girl, despite her questionable conduct.
How exactly did you meet Christina?
During my investigation, I offered my hotel room to her to rest and get away from the street.
And what happened?
The next morning, my wallet and my watch had disappeared. I suppose that's what you get for being a good Samaritan.
If you are going to sleep with a lady of the night, Clayton, I would advise you to be cautious.
I can't really be mad at her, though. She's just trying to survive. She doesn't have many options.
Was it wise to become so intimate with a woman you were supposed to interview, Clayton?
Maybe it was. But I have learned to look for the inner truth and beauty in people.
I apologize. I didn't mean to be rude. What can you tell me about this woman?
She's very sensitive. So nostalgic about her country. I saw her cry once because she'd lost a precious souvenir from her homeland.
What was it?
A scarf her brother gave her before she came to England.
Why are you so concerned? You seem to have something on your mind, Mr. Darby.
That we could make peace if I could find it and give it back to her. But I'm afraid she lost the scarf somewhere during her night shift.
Christina Popper claims she sells her body because she can't find any other work. Do you believe her?
Of course I do. Her story is exactly what I want my readers to understand. We live in an intolerant and divided nation.
Do you think things will ever change, Mr. Darby?
I believe the situation can only improve. And now that women can vote, I'm convinced things will change. I don't know much.
Goodbye.
Wait.
Do you need a...
That would...
If... Goodbye, Mr.
There you go. So he's almost like up there. She's 29, but I still have a couple of hints that I can use on here.
Good evening. Did you steal Clayton Darby's wallet? Tell me the truth, Christina.
Of course I stole it. But I never thought he would come back to look for it.
Why did you do it? He seems to trust you.
For a time I thought he was different from other men. In the end, he just wanted to sleep with me. Same as the others.
Mixing money with passion rarely delivers a beautiful story.
Lucky me. I don't believe in beautiful stories anyway.
No! What? Sucks. Okay. Deal.
Did you...
Of course.
Why did you...
For a time.
Mixing...
It's stuck.
Goodbye.
Can't change it. That sucks. Okay. I was hoping I could, but...
Good evening, Harry.
Sure. Is there only pain and suffering in this world? So I'm not bothered.
Do you know?
Yes.
I thought I had like
Goodbye, young man.
learned something.
Even my dreams are soaked with glue.
Yeah. Your dreams are super glue. Close eyes. You though are fools.
Mr. Bates.
Evening.
You are one mesmerized. Just gonna like cram you into the wall after I'm done embracing you.
Was I that evil to deserve such punishment?
Yes.
My only regret is that no one will mourn me. For I have never been loved.
You know, it's the fact that the way you were, to be honest.
Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute.
You again.
How do I do
Sir,
the
wait.
measurement?
Stop this nonsense. I know. Don't you see we're on the same side? We fight to help the poor, sick, and abandoned.
I'm nothing like you, Mr. Doctor.
Yes, you are. You too believe in providing medical care without charge. You know what we have to sacrifice to make the world a better place.
I have to admit your words have conviction. If you want to talk to Dorothea...
We've not been formally introduced. May I ask your name and occupation, sir?
I am Darius Petrescu. I'm here to keep snitches and spies away from Dorothea. And I also run this little print shop.
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor, but I'm almost convinced Camellia is an angel. She volunteered to give out our medical leaflets.
Are you not worried for her safety?
She is as brave as she is tough, and clever, too. If only I had met her when I was younger.
Are you in love with Camellia, Mr. Petrescu?
Don't be stupid. If I had met her when I was younger, we could have won our revolution.
Who is she, really? Do you know where she's from?
She's not from around here, that's all we know. Camellia is not even her name. It's her favorite flower.
You say she has no close family?
Well, there's that awful poet who constantly follows her around like a lost puppy. A good man for sure, but a very poor writer.
Tell me everything you...
I do not...
So Dorothy...
Like myself and many people in this area, Dorothea is from occupied Romania. That's all you need to know.
She seems important to the community.
More than you can imagine. The West End does not want to hear of Whitechapel's misery. Dorothea is one of the few doing something about it.
I know you fought for your country when it was occupied, Darius. Tell me more about it.
I know my days are numbered, and I know I won't see my homeland again. But I fought for Romania all my life, and I will until my last breath.
But Romania escaped the grasp of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It's a free country again.
But it's not the country I fought for. My homeland is not appeased, Doctor. And I still see a dark future ahead for my people.
How did you meet Nurse Crane, Darius? Why does she trust you?
I'm her oldest friend in England. Dorothea and I share many ideas about this country and about the country we left.
You mean occupied Romania, don't you? Even if not directly, I fought against your enemies.
Really? Then perhaps you have more in common with Dorothea than meets the eye, Dr. Reed.
Do you have any family left, Mr. Petrescu? Children or grandchildren?
Who knows? I have abandoned my people for so long, they might as well be dead. As dead as I am for them, I suppose.
This war won't last forever. Did you ever think of returning to your country now it's free?
No. I have taught strength and determination to my sons and daughters. I'm an old, dying man who only has memories of better times to cherish.
Father left us. So I was just sitting there looking, and you have to complete the story to get mesmerized and stuff like that. So he's mesmerized too. So after I do some stuff,
Do you need some...
I am...
What? Goodbye, Mr. Petrescu.
Hey, there's one thing I can...
Yes?
Do you have... Don't be embarrassed, sir. If you must know, my own father disappeared many years ago, and I forgave him.
It's quite awkward to talk about our families like this, but... Thank you, Dr. Reed. I appreciate your trust.
Tell me... Goodbye.
So I know everything about him practically, but I think I might need him to get closer to the rest of all. Because he wasn't with anybody. He had no social circle. So I'm going to take out the people that aren't in the social circle first. So everything about him, so it's people themselves.
Can you hear my voice?
Letter, Nurse Crane. My dear Dorothea, when you read this letter, I'll be on the boat that will take Anton and me back to Brasov. England was not far for us. I confess I cannot wait to see the proud hills of Transylvania. As soon as we're there, I promise I'll light a candle in the black church and pray for you to survive this terrible epidemic. I know you do not agree with this decision and that you are determined to be more useful by helping the comrades exiled in the east. But Anton could not wait to return to our beloved country and see our long-awaited revolution bloom like he is my husband. I will stay by his side. I know we had our arguments and our fights. I know you would have wanted me to stay by your side. I hope you manage the clinic of yours, but now I'm leaving England, but for sure, if anything would happen to you, reach out for danger, I would come back immediately to London with Anton. Please think much as I think of you. I am your affectionate sister, Theodore. So if I
He's going into convulsions, Doctor.
What do we have here, nurse?
Patient Raz Van Vasily. High fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches, and head pain. Diagnosed with influenza.
Treatment?
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort. Liquids for dehydration, but he's having trouble keeping even water down.
Thank you, nurse. Anything else I should know?
He did lose consciousness this morning, but he's never had convulsions like these.
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Scalpel! Hand me that scalpel!
What can I do, Doctor?
It's too dangerous to operate with these convulsions. Sedative, nurse. Do we have any anesthetics?
I'm sorry, Doctor. None at all.
I need to perform a tracheostomy. Short pipe. That rubber tube will do. We're going to cut a passage for air through the neck.
Yes, Doctor. He's breathing again, but he's coughing up blood.
Internal hemorrhaging. I need to make another incision into the chest cavity to drain the fluids from the lung. Prepare another tube.
A thoracostomy? Doctor, we've nothing to fight the infection. We need an aseptic environment.
Right then, Nurse Crane. What do you suggest we do?
I've no idea. I'm not the doctor.
Time is of the essence. We need to perform a thoracic drain.
Yes, Doctor. He's still bleeding, Doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
The drain must have punctured the intercostal artery. There's too much blood.
Are you all right, Doctor?
I can't see. I must first suture the artery. Find the wound. The source of the blood.
Needle and thread, Doctor.
Good. The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, Doctor.
A dose of epinephrine, now.
Yes, Doctor.
This is a learning experience. A very interesting learning experience.
We've lost the pulse. He's gone, Doctor.
Yes. We did everything we could.
Truly? Everything you could? Is that how you'll report this in your log? Is this how the war went? Piling up one poor corpse beside the next?
This was not an influenza-induced seizure. I've never seen symptoms like these on the continent.
Neither have I. But the previous symptoms leading up to this attack were the same, indistinguishable from the epidemic.
No. There was something more vile in these reactions. Something primitive.
There have been numerous reports of mental breakdowns caused by the fever that accompanies the flu itself, Doctor.
Yes, but I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
I doubt you're here to test my bedside manners. I suspect it was more than intuition alone that led you to us. So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reed?
I've come to put an end to this insufferable blackmailing, Dorothy.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and plied, blackmailed and lied, but what else am I to do? I'm all these people have.
But why Lady Ashbury? Why her?
She's pristine and proper, all right. But that she-wolf in sheep's clothing murders the poor for sport. I have her where she belongs, and I'll milk her for all she's got.
Jeez.
Dr. Swansea is a sensible and honest man. He wouldn't have refused your friend's care at Pembroke.
It's easy for you to say, Doctor. These people cannot go to the police, nor to the hospital. They don't even speak English. They depend on me for everything.
So, the end justifies the means. Is that your defense?
I know you're kind, Doctor. Just another fine-heeled, silver-spooned gentleman who was given the world on a platter. You know nothing of poverty. Nothing of the shame, the hunger, the loneliness.
You've convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn me over to the authorities?
Design, liquid, embrace amending this right now. Try and remove.
Nurse Crane, there is no question that the work you've done here is extraordinary, but this dispensary is incapable of coping with the outbreak. It's only a question of days before the situation at hand will overwhelm us. I cannot allow it. It's my duty to put an end to this immediately.
I'm not ashamed. I did what was right. For in the end, I saved lives and you took them. But we had so much in common, Doctor. Don't you see that?
It's locked, all right. Hello, Mr. Petrescu. Good.
So there's still more that I can find.
As long as you have the money.
Yeah, trade full. This is where I'm probably gonna leave it. Yeah, because I gotta start getting to work in a minute. Alright. Oh, I must say, today has been one fun and exciting journey, but now, after I evolve real quick, I must leave in order to do my job. So, I think I was talking about Abyss is what I was going to do, because that looked like it did the most damage. And I was like, that's cool. And then got that. Go buy fuel. Perks real quick. Practically get every perk. That's practically what I can do right now, and then figure out what I want to use when I get back. I think this is also 1,000 each. Yeah. So now I'm going to focus on body and endurance for the rest of it, to be honest, and blood capacity. I honestly think that would be a smart idea. So I have to bite less. And probably, I think say use maybe 2,000 each. I'll go body a little bit more since it's only 600. 2,000, yeah. Probably another stamp. Okay. Well, that looks like where I'm gonna end it here, boys and girls, and hopefully you'll have a good one. And more proof of violence and danger that lurks in London. A young nurse, Miss Dorothy Crane, was found dead yesterday morning behind the walls of what seems to be a legal dispensary. A local is sick sometime. There's no doubt the cause of Miss Crane's passing. The poor woman had died from blows following what was described as a massive wound in her throat. In the macabre scene that was described as a massive epidemic situation Whitechapel inhabits. Practically, they seen that I had killed her and they found her, so yeah, sucks, but yes. So I need to end up healing all these people, to be honest. Fatigue. 3 people fatigue. Neuralgia, I don't have that yet. Fatigue, 4 people fatigue. Bronchitis, 4 fatigue. So I'm gonna do that real quick before I leave. Another one. Need another bronchitis. For a headache, but that must be it. Alright. Fun fatigue. Alright, this is where I'm gonna leave it here, boys, girls. You guys have a good day. Thank you for watching.